taking you through on how to do your lab assignments. There's historically a lot of confusion surrounding your lab assignments, but I promise you, once you watch this tutorial, and then of course once you have the lab instructions as like a paper guide, it's going to make a lot more sense, and it's actually very, very easy. It's just initially a lot of steps, but I promise you it's super easy. So when you first access your course, you're going to access your Med-Surg 3 nursing course, and then of course when you access that, you're going to come to just your regular Med-Surg 3 course. All right. From there, you're going to go to content, and this is where you're going to find both of your critical care books. Okay, so you should have your Morton and Thurman, which is a Lippincott book. This is just a book. It is not a Course Point Plus book, so therefore there is not a Course Point Plus class, nor is there a Course Point Plus code. It is just a textbook. So when you log into Lippincott, it'll be in your Vital Source textbook, and it is just a textbook. However, your Saunders, there is an access code on here. So when you access your Saunders, when you first click into it, it's going to take you to just the book, okay? So Saunders, you're going to be using this a lot for your capstone as well. It is an NCLEX prep book. So once this loads up, you're gonna see the book version of this. However, you're gonna get this pop-up code. Do not close out of this. If you do not get this pop-up code, please disable your pop-ups from your computer and try again. This pop-up code, I'm not going to click on it because it's going to give you my instructions with my access code, and I don't want you guys using my access code. But when you click on instructions, it's going to give you an access code and step-by-step instructions on how to input that access code in Evolve. So you are going to access your lab book from Evolve, and then so the same place where you do your HESIs. And then that is how you're going to complete your labs. So don't X out of this, and definitely click on those instructions and then go to your Evolve and follow those instructions. However, to just access your Saunders book and just read the actual NCLEX prep book, this is how you do it. So click on this and then follow the instructions and go to your Evolve. If you need help and this does not populate for you and you cannot get it to come up, you have to reach out to tech support on Purdue. So if you go to your main campus on Brightspace, if you go to the help tab and click support, you have to do this tech support. I cannot help you with that. Your instructors cannot help you with the book problem because it's a third party. You have to go to tech support and they will be more than happy to help you gain access to that book code, okay? So go here, email them, call them, and get access to help that way. So once you go to your Evolve, and you log in and you do the access code and all of that, you are going to have your book in mine is in my other products, and that's where it's listed there. So your book is going to look like this. So if you go to Evolve Resources for Saunders, if you click open on this, it's going to take you to your Evolve. Now from here, it's going to look kind of funny, but you're going to click Exam Review. So this is where you're going to complete all of your Saunders exams. So it's going to load here, and then you're going to get to click. So from your Purdue campus, so if I click out of here, let me just go back here actually. So if you go to your content, and if you go to any of the lab tabs within the unit, it's going to give you, if you go to lab, so lab instructions, lab topics and lab instructions. Please download these. Instructions are essentially exactly what I'm showing you with pictures, but in paper format, so you can access these at any time. Lab topics is going to be very, very important. So when you click lab topics, your document's going to have just a brief kind of overview on how to choose your lab topics. But below is for every single unit, you have all of your lab topics here. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do unit 1s. So unit 1, there's 5 different topics that you need to click. Okay, so we're going to do adult health, hematological, and immune. So when we go here, we're going to click exam. We need to do a 25 question quiz, okay? And we need to click content area. So you cannot get to where you need to go unless you click exam, 25 content area. From there, I'm gonna pick all of my topics. So my first two is adult health, and I'm gonna click hematological and immune. Okay, and then from there, what were my other topics? So we had complex care, blood administration. So then I'm going to go scroll down, and you can actually close this little window. So anything with an arrow means that there's a further drop down. So for complex care, I'm going to click blood administration. All right, so those two are, or those three, I apologize, are selected. So from there, I need to do foundations of care, infection control. So then I'm going to scroll down and do foundations of care, and then I'm going to do infection control. And then from there, I need to do pharmacology, hematological medications. So then let's close that one. And it's still, see how it's still selected? If you just click on the whole thing, I'll show you here in just a second. So do pharmacologic. And then see how there's another drop down menu here. So I want you to do both of these. So if you just click the first one, it's going to highlight all of these. Same thing with, let's say, let's just do maternity. If I click maternity, it's going to select everything in maternity. So don't just come here and click foundations of care, because it's literally going to select all of these. I need you to open each one of these up individually and only select the ones that I give you, okay? I promise it's super easy, all right? So once I have all of my topics selected, I need you to click begin quiz. All right. So initially it's going to say kind of new questions only. All right. So once you begin your quiz, it's going to auto populate, and there's a bunch of different questions. So let's say with those 5 topics, there's going to be a bank of maybe 100+ questions, and it's going to randomize everything. So you might only get 1 or 2 hematological, like pharmacology questions, but you might get a lot of infection control or hematological immune for the adult care questions, okay? So it's going to take you through all 25, and then once that, so you're going to go through, you're going to click on the submit and go through all 25 questions. Once you complete your quiz, you can go, it's going to give you your score, all right? So to get your scores, yes, I know my exam has been saved. I didn't do anything of it. So when you go to your home button, that's how it takes you there. So then it's going to take you back to your home button. If you click what it looks like a little calendar here, it's a history button, and this is where you get all of your exams that you've taken, okay? So you can see, obviously, I've done a lot of these, okay? So what you're going to do is you're just going to randomly click on one. A lot of these are from just random showing people how to do them. So I clicked on this one. Okay, so this one I got a 90% on. If I'm good with a 90%, and that's what I want to submit, so each one of these labs is worth 10 points apiece. So whatever you score, and you can take them as many times as possible, okay? So when you do that, you can whatever you want to get. If you're cool with 60%, then turn it in for 60%. If you want to keep redoing it until you get a better score, by all means, please do that. So your lab score is however many times you take it and what you're good with. So let's say I'm totally fine with a 90% on this. I need to make sure that I click my toggle unused button. So what this is going to do is it's only going to give me the exact topics that I've done. So if I click toggle unused, it gives me a huge report with I have a lot of zeros here. So all of these content areas I did nothing on, okay? However, if I click toggle unused, it's only going to give me exactly what I did. So when I go to content area here, it should give me every single one of my topics, because remember we picked exam 25, content area, and then we picked all of our topics. So here in content area, it should only show you the topics that you picked, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to print results. So you're not actually going to print it. You're going to save it to your desktop, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So when you click print results, what you're going to do is you're only going to see a 2-page report. If you do not see a 2-page report, and it's like 11 or 13 pages, you need to cancel this, go back, click your toggle unused. So I'll show you kind of what it looks like. Do you want to print this? No. So it's going to say, if it's going to have all of this. Oh, now it's doing something weird. We'll go toggle unused, print results, whatever, print. Okay, so right now it's saving as a PDF. So I don't actually want to print this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to my printer, and I'm going to hit save. So this should say, Save to desktop. There we go. Save as PDF. Okay, and that's exactly what I want to do. So how mine is on, I'm on a Mac, on a Mac, so Apple. If yours looks different on like an HP, just find where it says PDF, or however your print window looks, and you just want to save it as a PDF, and you want both pages. So I only want 2 or 3 pages. If this says 11 some pages, I need you to go back and click that toggle unused. I'm not going to accept an 11-page report. So if you click Save as PDF, it's going to give you desktop. So you can name this whatever you want. So Sarah's Unit 1 Lab, okay? So however you want to save it, and then you're going to save it to your desktop, and then you're going to click Save, okay? So it's going to save that there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my campus. So if I go back to my Unit 1 Lab, if I go into my assignments, which it's not going to show anything because the course is, oh, it does show something. I'm going to go to my Unit 1 Lab Dropbox. And then this is where I'm going to be able to submit it. It looks weird because this is the instructor view, okay? But I'm going to have my box to submit and upload that report I just saved to my laptop, okay, or your computer, whatever. The nice thing about this report when you go to save it, so if I click toggle unused, you'll be able to kind of see if I just click, yeah, so it's like 13 pages. Please do not submit this. I will not grade it. None of your instructors will grade this report. If it's 13 pages, we are not going to sift through that to figure out what topics you picked, okay? Hit cancel, go back, toggle unused. If you click print results, you're going to get your 2-page report. Save it as that PDF, okay? On your report, it's really nice, and I don't know if I can like make this bigger, but it actually has your name, your date, the time you took the test, and your score, okay? So I need this information up here. It has to be this report because I need to know that you're the one, it's your account, you took the test, the date that you took it, which should be in that unit, and then of course the topics that you picked here, okay? So all of that is going to be in that beautiful little report that you're going to submit, and it's going to have your score there. This also helps me kind of see like where you might struggle or anything along those lines. So please make sure that you're doing that, okay? So once that is submitted, I will be able to grade that, or your instructor will be able to grade that, and we'll get your grade in there for that. But again, remember, you can take this as many times as possible. One other thing that I do want to point out, so if I click my home button, it'll take me back. If I go to exam, if I go to 25 points, go to content area, click my topics. Let's say I'm not getting as many topics as I would like. Now your NCLEX mentors are going to use your Saunder's book, so this exact method for you to remediate some of your HESIs if you need remediation, okay? So they're gonna be like, I want you to go to content area, I want you to focus on, you missed a lot in blood administration, whatever, or developmental stages, okay? So they're going to assign you stuff out of this book, and that's going to be a new thing. However, for me, if you're not getting enough questions, or if you're only getting it, because it will not recycle the questions unless you tell it to. So when you go in, and if you're not getting certain content areas that you know that you're picking, I need you to click reset used questions. And it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to reset the used questions? And yes, I want to reset them. That's going to completely reset all of your questions. So that way you're going to actually start getting, so then you're going to start seeing some repeat questions, okay? And that's totally fine on these. You might just know the answer, or it's just good review. So by the time you exit this program and you get ready to, you should have gone through the vast majority of the questions in this book, and there's thousands of them here, okay? So it's really just good practice for you guys getting ready for the NCLEX. That is all I have. That is how you submit your labs and how you do your labs. It's really easy, I promise. And once you kind of get the hang of it, you guys will be whipping these out in no time. But if you have any questions or concerns about the labs, please email your instructor. And remember, if you have any difficulties accessing the book, please go to your PG campus and go to the help and your tech support buttons there. All right, thanks guys. Have a good day.